within that, I would argue that there are several sources of stability, and I would say that in the heart of the Middle East, Israel is the source of the greatest stability. I know this flies in the face of people. The only way I can prove that to you is in a way that I won't. You just imagine what would happen if we weren't there. What would happen to some of our neighbors? I won't spell it out. Large neighbors, small neighbors. Israel stops the brunt of an attack that is directed at some of our Arab neighbors and directed at others beyond the Middle East. And I think that if it weren't for Israel, a lot of that area would have been swept away by radical forces long ago. So I would argue that we provide an important strategic service. That is understood in ways that I can't elaborate by the daily, sometimes hourly sharing, Richard, of intelligence. You know, you've been there, between our intelligence services, security cooperation that is enormously valuable. It's very valuable for us. I think I can safely say that it's very important for the United States. And by the way, for other countries, I was going to say Western countries, but that would be an incomplete statement, because we also share important assets with non-Western countries, and quite a few of them. So the service that Israel does in the Middle East is below the swirl of public debate, is real and much appreciated by the governments that are actually acting to stabilize the Middle East, chief among them the United States. And this was very much reflected in my conversation with President Obama, both in his public statements, but also in our private discourse.
Let me turn to one or two questions about what is sometimes called the...
If you ask smaller questions, I'll give you shorter answers.
I will do my best. Let me turn to the so-called peace process. As you yourself noted, the Israeli moratorium on settlement construction runs out in less than 3 months. What would persuade you and your government to extend it?
The settlement issue was supposed to be a final status issue from the start. It was, along with security, with the question of territory, borders, Jerusalem, refugees, water. These are the principal issues that need to be discussed in the final status issue. I did, as I said, something quite unprecedented. I actually did this temporary freeze as an inducement to enter the talks. Now, 7 months into this 10-month moratorium, the Palestinians have not yet come in, but they already argue, well, you got to extend that, that gesture. And I think the right thing to do is just get into the talks. This is how we'll resolve this issue of settlements, by actually having the talks and not by constantly pulling and trying to engage in this one-upmanship that has been directed at Israel. I think we've shown our good faith. No other government has done that. And by the way, no one was asked to do it. I have to tell you, through the years of Oslo, the 17 years of Oslo, there was never any precondition, not settlements, any precondition placed on talks. And on day one, when I formed my government, I called on Abu Mazen, President Abu Mazen, to come and sit down. And on day one, we had the beginning, the cascade of preconditions that kept on growing and growing and growing. And I think this is just wrong. Look, nobody's going to deliver an agreement or a settlement to the Palestinians from the outside. If they're waiting for that, I think it's a big mistake. They have to come in and negotiate this, and we're prepared to talk about everything. We'll have our positions, they'll have their positions, but at the end of the day, I think it's only when you sit down, mesh all these issues together, and show the Palestinian people and the people of Israel, here's an agreement to end the conflict and to ensure security. It's going to be very painful. It's not going to be easy. By the way, not only for the Israeli side, for the Palestinian side, that actually have to come and tell their people, as I said, it's over. But that's the way this thing is going to end. So I would say, I think we've done enough. Let's get on with the talks.
You said that Barack Obama, I think your words was ready to assist. What would you like his role and the American role to be if, for example, we can get direct negotiations started between Israelis and Palestinians? What would you like us to do? What would you like us not to do?
Every peace negotiation that we've had involved the assistance of the United States. Camp David breakthrough talks between Egypt and Israel, the Oslo Accords, the talks that I held, the Hebron Agreement, the Y Agreement, peace with Jordan. It always involved American support. The United States is a great mediator, a great facilitator. There are problems that I think, practical problems that we'll need help with. By the way, not only from the United States, from the international community. I gave you one example that you don't tend to think about, water. Water, unlike land, has one advantage. You can make more of it. You can make more of water. You can desalinate water, but it's expensive, and we're going to need it. We're going to need it anyway, even if we didn't make peace. But if we make peace, we're going to need it more. And as our GDP per capita grows, water consumption grows. It's growing in Israel. It's growing in the Palestinian areas. You probably need a regional approach anyway, because this is a problem that is afflicting the region. You'll certainly need international help there. Some countries can help with the refugees. Some countries can help with water. The United States can help with everything, including political mediation, and certain hardships will arise. They will arise. But the United States can help with one other thing. It can help address some of our most pressing security problems. Some of them can be addressed by advanced technology, and I think American willingness and cooperation in this matter is there, and it's vitally important for the achievement of success.
I've just got two more questions, then I'll open it up. Imagine that you and Mahmoud Abbas have a negotiation on the West Bank, and it succeeds. You make tremendous progress. How would you think about dealing at one and the same time with the challenge of Gaza and Hamas?
This is a big problem. It could hinder negotiations. We could say we won't proceed until we solve the Gaza problem, which probably means we'll be hindered for a long time. Or we can recognize that we have a hostile element there that it's a hostile beachhead. It's an Iranian beachhead that is opposed to peace, opposed to recognition of Israel, sponsors terror. We'll have to think about it as it is, think about what it could be, and try to see how we work together to make that transformation. But I think it'll be unrealistic for us to assume that, to say that it's not there, we shouldn't address it, or to say unless it is resolved, we don't move forward. I'm saying either position I think is wrong. I think we should move towards a negotiated peace between us and the Palestinian Authority and take the proper precautions against what can flow from Gaza.
But would also provide some avenue or opportunity for Gazans to opt in if they met certain criteria?
If they could, believe me, they'd throw Hamas out today. Hamas would lose an election like that. But it doesn't really give the people of Gaza any option. They're holding any more than the Iranian regime gives the people of Iran any option. If they want to exercise the option, they shoot them down on the sidewalks. If this girl lies choking in her blood, that's how Hamas governs. It doesn't really allow any freedom. If there were a change, if the people of Gaza, the Palestinian people there, could choose, I have no doubt they would choose the route of moderation and of peace and of prosperity, which you see beginning in the West Bank, but they're not really given a choice. How we help them have that choice is a good subject for discussion. I'm not sure it should be held here.
You gave me a natural segue into Iran. You were articulate about the risks and costs of living within Iran with nuclear weapons, how not just from the nuclear point of view, but how it could essentially become a backdrop to an even more assertive or aggressive Iranian policy around the region. What about the risks and costs of using military force to prevent it if sanctions don't work? Do you worry about Iranian retaliation? Do you worry about what Hezbollah, Hamas might do? Do you worry that it could set back the prospects for political change, for democratic change in Iran?
Well, look, obviously we hope that it's possible to stop